Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And these words which I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. That's from Deuteronomy 6, verses 4 through 9. Here, Moses addresses Israel on the plains of Moab just before entering the Promised Land, renewing the covenant and calling the nation to exclusive loyalty to the Lord. Deuteronomy 6 follows the Ten Commandments restatement, Deuteronomy 5, placing love for God at the center. The Shema grounds Israel's identity and outlines a home-based discipleship plan woven into daily rhythms and symbols. You know, family discipleship begins not with a curriculum, but with a confession. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. A unified God calls for an undivided heart. Now, a few things to keep in mind. First, we should receive before we relay. The scripture says, these words shall be in your heart. You know, parents can't pass on what hasn't already taken root. We need to let love for God warm our own affections, and then truth will travel naturally out of us. Next, teach diligently in the ordinary. The verbs of this passage sketch a typical day. Sit, walk, lie down, rise up. Table, travels, bedtimes, mornings. Here we see Scripture becoming a conversation, not merely a class. Short, frequent, joyful interactions form deep grooves. That's something to keep in mind. Lastly, mark the home. Hands, eyes, doorposts, and gates. Think of it like this. Habits and space become signposts of grace. Again, habits and space become signposts of grace. Now, this isn't, it's not superstition. It's actually intentional remembrance. And we need to remember that the goal is not raising perfect kids, but creating a God-saturated environment where love is modeled and truth is repeated with patience. So parents, take heart. Small seeds sown consistently grow tall in time. Start where you are, with what you have, and trust the God who shepherds families better than we do. He delights to meet you at the breakfast table, the carpool lane, and in all facets of life. Simple prayer you might pray today is something like, Lord, unite my heart to love you and help me lead my home with humble consistency and joyful truth. And a simple challenge you might give yourself today is to choose one moment, perhaps a meal, a drive, or even bedtime, to read this passage aloud and ask one question: how can we love God right now?